Good morning. Okay, so this is going to be what I thought was going to be a hotel class, but I'm home. So I originally said we were going to use a towel and a couple of pillows because those are things you can always find at like almost anywhere. So I'm going to continue to use that. But if you're near your stuff and you have a magic circle or a squishy ball or all the things you normally use in place of having to use things that you don't have, use them. That's fine. But I'm going to stick to the original plan just because why not? And we're going to start down on the mat, and you can grab the either your squishy ball or a pillow or two for this first part. All right. I have to leave my heater on, you guys. I know it's kind of loud back there, but it's cold down here. It's basement level on a concrete floor, so I'm not turning that thing off today. Okay. Here's my towel, and here's my pillow. I'm actually gonna grab two pillows because this pillow doesn't have an incredible, it has like not very much stuffing in it. And I just would like a little extra something something here. Okay, so I'm doing this. You can decide for yourself. And I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna sit. So if you have a ball, you can put it right mid upper back. You should always just move it based on how it feels. And I'm gonna lean back on my pillow, squishes right down, and then come all the way. So this is like, just to put this out there, if you are using a squishy ball, this is a little bit more gentle because it's not quite as big, it's softer, it's fluffier. So anyway, if you're always kind of wishing that you had something more gentle here, the pillow might be better for you. So I'm just gonna stay here for 2 deep breaths. I already have my hands behind my head, kind of getting ready for what's next. Yeah, 2 deep belly breaths. Really full exhales. And I'm gonna keep my hands behind my head. You can also move through this with your arms straight up to the ceiling. You can try both and see which one you like better. I'm gonna keep my hands back there. Elbows will come up. Exhale, curl up. And then inhale, go back again. The exhale is the thing that really helps you to come all the way back up again. Mind your shoulders as you come up. Let's do 4 more here. You don't have to go all the way to the ground, by the way. Go as far as you would like. One more. Good. And then I'm going to bring my hands right behind my thighs and come all the way up to sit. These are just getting pushed away for now. Legs are going to come all the way up. So it's early. My legs are pretty tight right now. If your hamstrings are tight, keep your knees soft and extend the arms straight ahead. Sit up really nice and tall. First, inhale, shoulders rise up. And then exhale, bring them down and bring the arms down too. 2 more like that. Shoulders up. 1 more. This time, the arms will come up and they will stay. Big inhale to sit tall. Exhale, ground through the spine, stretch through the fingers, flex the feet. See if you can empty your lungs as you stretch forward. And then inhale, come all the way back up. Just a quick note, if your legs are super tight, sit on that pillow, sit on something. It gives you just a little bit of a better angle for the legs to be able to lengthen out. Let's do 2 more here. And then come all the way back up to sit. Hands are gonna come just behind me with my fingertips forward. I may eventually move my fingertips out to the side, but I'm going to start with my fingertips forward. Feet about hip distant, not too far away from the tush. Open the chest. Those of you with tight muscles across the chest, maybe this is your exercise right here. Those of you that feel like you can move on, we're going to start to lift the hips with the exhale. Inhale, come down. Just 2 more here. One more. And then come all the way down. I'm going to keep my thin pillow. You can use your squishy ball if you have one here. And I'm going to lie down with my head right on the pillow because it feels nice. Pillow or the ball is optional here. Arms by your sides. Bring your hands actually first right to your hip bones. We're just going to do a little bit of a pelvic sort of warm up here. A little bit of a tuck and a little bit of an arch. As you go back and forth between your tuck and your arch, try not to include a bunch of other muscles here. So when you tuck, you don't necessarily have to squeeze everything. Just move your bones a little bit at first and breathe. I kind of like inhale, arch, exhale, tuck. Let's just do 2 more back and forth like this. Breathe freely. 1 more. And then come back center. Now we're going right and left. When you go right and left, the hip, the pelvis moves, but the legs and the knees here, what you can see in a little bit of your vision, they don't move too much at all. It's more like you're lifting one side, lowering the other, lifting one side, lowering the other. 3 more here. 3 and 3. Breathe. 2 and 2. 1 and 1. We come back to the center. We're putting the whole thing together. Go from a tuck over to one side, roll through to your arch, and then over to the second side, and start the whole thing again. Take your time here. Notice if you're feeling anything weird as you roll through this, or if you feel the need to go slower or faster, but please breathe. We're just doing 1 more in this direction. And then, of course, we'll go the other way. Roll through the pelvis over to that other side. Roll through the low back. If anything is feeling wonky, like my back definitely feels tight today, just make the range of motion a little bit smaller. You don't need to push your body somewhere where it just doesn't want to go at that moment. It's cold, so maybe that's why too. Come back to the center, neutral pelvis, and let's bring the legs a little bit closer, the feet and the knees a little bit closer, and move your hands up to your waist. My palms are on my ribs, my fingertips are kind of reaching towards the belly button. Relax your shoulders and inhale right into your own hands. And then exhale. Just 2 more like this. One more time. Okay, I'm going to bring my arms finally right by my sides. We're going to start to move the legs. At first, nice and easy. One foot goes down and the other one comes right up. Turn your attention to your pelvis again. It should be nice and still. We just did a bunch of moving. Now we're keeping it stable and the legs are moving. Try to keep your breath moving as well too. Also turn your attention to your abdominals. You don't need to like jam your back to the ground here, but a little bit of an intentional sort of pulling in, contracting of those abdominal muscles as you move. The next time you bring up one leg, you'll pause, and the opposite leg will come up. And then the first leg will, with control, go down. And then the second leg. Take your time here and do some more of those. belly is in. You're likely to feel your hip flexors here. The muscles right in the crease of the thighs, that's normal. One leg up, other leg up, one leg down, other leg down. Let's do 2 more for these. Breathe. Down and down, one more. And down, good. Now walk your feet out a little bit wider, and you can bring your arms wide too. The knees will go right and left, and right, and left. 2 more. And 1 more. And then back to the center, and walk your hands back in again. Okay, from here, arms are gonna come back down by your sides. We're gonna bring that last exercise up a notch a little bit. This time, bring your left leg to tabletop and your right arm. Bring the other 2 limbs up, the right leg and the left arm. Now put your left leg and your right arm down, and the right leg and the left arm down. We'll do it again. Left leg, right arm. Pull your belly in to prepare. Right leg, left arm. Down with the right arm and the left leg. Down with the right leg and the left arm. Do this one more time. Left leg, right arm. Right leg, left arm. Down with the left leg and right arm. Down with the right leg and left arm. It's hard enough for me just to think through that. Let's come back to lifting the left leg and the right arm one more time. Hold here. Draw the abdominals in deeply. Stretch the right arm back and the left leg away. And then exhale, return. Focus on the exhale using the abdominals. Inhale, reach the arm and the leg away. Exhale, come in. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. And then we'll switch. Right leg, left arm, belly button is in. Stretch out. 3 more. 2. Last one. And then down. From here, I'm going to take the pillow away. We're going to do a little bit of hip lifting and bridging. It's best to keep your cervical spine and your head ground level, all right? Arms by your sides. Walk your feet towards your tush a little bit, as far as you feel like you should go. Exhale, hips will come up just a little at first. And then inhale back down. And exhale up. Keep going here and breathe. So, like, I don't sit a lot in my life. I'm not a big sitter. It kind of bothers my back. It's difficult to get in the right position, but yesterday I was in the car a lot. And I'm kind of reminded what happens to the hip flexors and the low back when you sit for long periods of time. This is probably pretty common knowledge, but your hip flexors shorten and they get really tight and short because of the angle with your legs up like that. So this kind of an exercise right here for people that do lots of desk work, this is, I think, pretty crucial because you're lengthening through that area that gets tight. And you're also engaging the area that kind of goes to sleep a little bit when you're sitting, the tush and the backs of the legs. And I definitely feel that this morning. It feels really awkward because of how many hours we were sitting yesterday. Exhale, come up. Let's do 4 more. And down, and 3 more. You can think about reaching your knees away from you, ever so slightly tucking the pelvis, so the flexors and the quads get a stretch when you come up. And we'll do 2 more. And last one. and come all the way down, okay? We're gonna come back to this for a moment, but for now, let's flip over and come onto our bellies. Head right on the hands, forehead, okay? Just get comfortable here for a minute, let the legs feel long. Just kind of wiggle around your pelvis and your upper body so it feels like you're in this position comfortably. Make any changes you need to. 3 deep breaths, breathing into your belly, your ribs, and your back. One more. Okay. Now I'm going to bring my arms right in, elbows right under the shoulders. I like to spread the fingers apart and press them down here. Look forward. Slide your elbows down into the floor and reach your collarbones forward. This creates like an arch through the upper back here. Hold here for a minute. Belly button gets pulled in just a little bit. Look left. You're only moving the head, and then look right. Breathe. Look left. You're going to continue to push the elbows down and right. One more each way. And then come back to the center. Widen your elbows. Lower yourself back down. Head right down onto your hands. Push down a little bit through your elbows and slide the shoulders away from the ears. Lift only the head and the chest away from the ground. It's again an arch through the upper third of your spine. Gently push down through your arms as you lift, and then lower. Maybe inhale as you come up. Exhale as you go down. When you come up, reach your chin forward. Maybe look at the ceiling if you can. 2 more. One more. And come all the way down. From here, arms will come out cactus-y, goal pose, however you want to think of it, forehead down. Yes, at this point, your pillow is right there, or whatever it is that you're using. You can almost put the corner of the pillow underneath your forehead, but try to keep your neck long. So if it's a big lift, don't use it, but just a little lift is not a bad idea here. Press down through your arms. This time when we lift the head and the chest, draw the belly in deeply, one of your arms will come up. And then back down for everything, and then head and chest and the other arm. And lower down. As you move through this, you may feel some discomfort somewhere in the low back, whatever it is. Lift according to how that feels and breathe. Make a change. See if it takes some of the discomfort away. One more each way. And then come all the way back down. One more thing here on your belly. Bring your arms right by your sides. Forehead back down. Relax your shoulders for a minute. On your next inhale or exhale, whatever you want to do it, lift the chest and reach back through your fingers. Imagine the crown of the head is kind of reaching forward as your fingertips reach back. Feel free to lift your legs if that feels like a good idea for you. And then lower back down. We're just doing 2 more here. Incorporate a really deep breath. Long arms, straight arms if you can. One more. And all the way down. Okay, bring your hands right under your shoulders. Let's give the back a little bit of a stretch here. Sitting back on your heels, stretching out your lumbar spine. Head is heavy. One more deep breath here. and then come onto the hands and knees, okay? From here, we're gonna find a neutral spine. So not so tucky, not so archy. I'm just gonna put my hair in this band here, get it out of the way. And we're gonna keep the hands right underneath the shoulders. We're gonna start to move the legs. One leg, I'm starting with my left, is gonna stretch straight out behind me. And just a quick check-in, when you extend this leg out, try not to bring the hip all the way up too. Try to keep it in line with your opposite hip. And then come back in and then extend that first leg again. This is a great little opportunity, one leg at a time, for a calf stretch. So kind of pull your toes forward, even though I know it's tight, really reach back, get that stretch through the calf. Let's do 4 more. 4, push the ground away. 3, 2, and 1. And then return. Make sure your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. I'm starting with my left, bring one arm right by your side. We just kind of did this when we were lying down. You reached your arms back, and then replace that hand back down and go to the other side. Reach it straight back, and come back in. And again, nothing changes through your spine, your shoulders, your hips, just the arm. 1 more each way here, breathe. And now we're gonna bring that left arm again out to the side, straight out. When you bring an arm out, gently drive the ground away from you with your opposite hand. I'm really kind of checking in a lot with my abdominals here. Try to keep them playing the game. Just 1 more each way here. We're gonna put these last couple together. And then come back, hands under shoulders. Take a break for a minute if you need for your wrists. So now I'm gonna use the legs and the arms. Let's start right leg back, left arm back, straight by your side. Get that calf stretch in. And then return. Left leg, right arm. Here's a good opportunity for a 2-way stretch. Crown of the head forward. Heel back, fingertips back. Make yourself long all the way through the body. And again. Keep going here, except now bring your arm out to the side. One more each way. Let's give these wrists a little bit of a break. I'm going to sit back on my heels, stretch my arms forward. 2 exhales. And come back 1 more time. Okay, from here, knees go wide, hands go narrow. So my hands are right underneath my chest, but my knees are wide. We're gonna add a little bit of a twist here. Push down through your right hand and bring your left elbow or arm up to the ceiling. Let your eyes and your elbow track, and then return, other side. And return. Other side. And down. And down. 2 more. And 2. 1 more each way. Deep breath here. Add that deep breath in. And then return. Bring the knees back in. We're going to come back to doing a little bit more hands and knees stuff, but we're going to come back now onto our side. We're kind of getting all angles of the body, the belly, the back, hands and knees. Let's do a little bit of side body stuff here. I don't think we need this just yet. It's lovely pillow. So you're going to come onto your side. I'm going to start knees bent. P.S. Use your pillow if you want. My head is on my arm. You can always put the pillow right underneath your head. So first we're gonna wake up the hips. Bottom leg presses down a little and the top leg just lifts up and lowers down. So see if you can get really good range of motion through this top leg. Up and down. Do just 5 more here. Breathe. And down. 4 more. And down, and 3. 2 more. 1 more. And then lower all the way down. Take your legs, we're keeping them bent, but we're gonna scooch them back. So then the thighs are almost in line with the upper body. And then we're gonna come up on this bottom elbow. Elbow under shoulder. Please check that little angle out. Right under the shoulder. Press down through your forearm and bring the top arm up. You can try something else if this doesn't feel right. Some people like this, or even hand behind the head. I'm gonna stay here. Exhale, hips come up. Inhale, return. Plug these shoulders in. Yep. 4 more. 3 more. And 2. Last one. Deepest breath. All the way down. Coming back to where we just were. Knees forward. Head somewhere on your arm on the pillow. Quick spine check-in. Can you lengthen your spine out so it almost feels like you're against the wall? Try not to sink forward or lean back too much. Try and be right on your side. Press your bottom leg down. Lift your top leg up about halfway. The knee is going to kind of look straight ahead, but then it's going to make a circle, as if your knee was drawing a circle around the room. See how many walls and floors or whatever your knee can make a circle on. This is a ball and socket joint here. Try and keep your heel somewhat close to your tush as you make this big old circle. Breathe. Let's do 1 more in this direction. Nice big circle. And then we'll go the other way. Around. And around. And 3, 2, 1 more. All the way back down. Leg adjustment like we did before. Move the legs away. Back to your forearm here, okay? It's almost like you're making a straight line with your thighs and your upper body, not perfectly straight. Spread the fingers apart. Press down through that bottom arm. Again, we're exhaling, hips come up. Inhale down, exhale up. Keeping my chin slightly in towards my throat here takes a little bit of pressure off the neck somehow. 3 more. 2 more. The exhale is part of the exercise. 1 more. Inhale, come down. We return. 1 more time, knees forward. Like you're up against the wall behind you. Hand in front of those ribs. And yes, coming back up here. In this exercise, the knee is still. The leg from the knee down moves down and up. Windshield wiper, bottom half of the leg. This is, you can probably feel what's happening here in your hip. This is a great little exercise for mobility of the leg in the hip here in this way. Feels different from the last exercise, the circly one. It's a great little exercise. We're doing 5 more here. 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, one more. And then all the way down. We are coming up one more time here. Okay, forearm, last time here underneath your shoulder. So in this next part here, we're gonna add, I think, a lift of the top knee. You can just leave it out if that's not right for you. Okay, so as you come up, you can either continue to lower and lift like we have been, or we'll stay here and we'll add a knee lift and down. We're breathing. And down. Take 4 more. And 3. And 2. One more time. And then come all the way down. Ooh. And then lower yourself back down. I'm going to use my pillow for this next one. You can use a yoga block or a squishy ball. I'm going to put the pillow underneath my top knee and then straighten out the bottom line. Just so this top knee can come up a little bit so it's not all the way down on the ground. And we'll lift and lower the bottom line. Lift. See if you can keep that foot of your bottom leg kind of parallel to the ground. And down. We'll do 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now lift and hold. Little pulse up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Another set here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. What the hell? One more set for fun. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way down. Okay? Both legs come out nice and straight. The pillow or whatever can go away. Belly button comes in here. Both legs lift and lower. Lift and lower. And lower. 2 more. One more time. And lower down. Okay, quick stretch here before we do all this business on the other side. Knees forward. See if you can get your head either just a little bit lifted here or all the way down. Try not to let your head be like much higher than your spine for this stretch. One more really deep breath here. Okay, and we're rolling back, and of course we're going to do all this business on the other side. So bring whatever you used with you. And we'll start just right on our side here, knees forward. Imagine your back is against the wall. Take a nice deep breath here. Gently push your bottom leg down into the mat. And this is just a nice big lift of this top leg, keeping it bent. And lower down. We'll do 6 more. 6. And 5. Good to notice if one side feels real different from the other. This is normal. It's good to notice though. 3. 2. Last one here. And all the way down. And we're bringing the legs back, keeping them bent. And then coming back here. Forearm, elbow under shoulder. Chin in, a little arm up. Exhale, the hips You can do 4 more here. And just a reminder, for me, pulling my chin in a little bit just makes my neck and shoulders feel a little bit better. Last 2. One more. All the way down. We come back, knees forward, head down, long spine. Press your bottom leg down. Let's go right into those big circles with the top leg. Keeping your heel like kind of pulled in a little bit towards your tush if your hamstring doesn't mind that. And then you can just focus on this really big movement. 2 more in this direction. 1 more. And then we go the other way. Around. And 5. And 4. 3. 2. 1 more. All the way down. Legs back. Come on up. Arm up again. You can make any changes you want with that top arm. Chin in. Exhale. Lift. Last one. All the way down. And we'll come down again. Knees return. See if you get your knees straight out from your hips. Push that bottom leg down a little. Top leg comes up. So again, the knee isn't going anywhere. Bottom half of the leg up and down. And down. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Let's do 1 more for good luck, because it's your favorite. And then come all the way down. We're coming up here again. So you can either continue with the hip lifts, just as we have been doing, or you can lift and do the top leg lift, like we did on the other side. Take a nice deep breath. Drive the bottom arm down. Plug that shoulder in. Hips come up. They stay. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. All the way down and all the way down. So I'm going to grab this pillow for the top leg and straighten the bottom leg out. Get yourself nice and long through the rest of the body. Bottom leg, lift and lower. And lower. You don't have to knock this lift out of the park here. It doesn't have to be a huge lift. If you're only coming up an inch or 2, that's okay. It doesn't have to be huge. We'll do 8 more here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now lift and hold, little pulse up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and again here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. 1 more set for fun. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo, lower down. Both legs out. Get yourself on your side if you can. And of course you can use this hand in front of you I'm gonna try to keep my hand right here. Lift and lower. Use your abdominals here a bit. And down, last 4. And 3. And 2. Last 1. All the way down. Okay, let's grab that stretch here. Knees forward. Bottom arm forward. And open the chest towards the ceiling and breathe. Two more exhales. And then roll back on your side. Let's grab this towel. You can grab your towel. And we're rolling onto our back here. I have a really nice long towel here. You can use your magic circle or a band, all the things we normally use, but this is just what I've got for fun today. And I'm gonna put my left ball of the foot and the toes into the towel. My towel is not incredibly thick, so it's not that hard to do that. So see if you get the front half of your foot into the towel. I'm going to keep my opposite leg bent for now, but you can always straighten it out if you want, okay? So quick little shoulder tuck in, lengthen out through your neck. Let's point the foot, push the toes and the ball of the foot into the towel. And then when you flex, ever so gently, just pull down with your elbows. And then point and flex. Get your toes involved here, you guys. Really push through the toes. And then when you flex, reach the toes back. It's okay to keep your knees soft if you need to. It's all right. Let's really get the foot moving. 4 more like this. Point and flex. Reach the toes back. And 3. And 2. 1 more. You can keep the foot relatively flexed. And I'm going to hold on a little bit with both hands. Now I'm going to straighten out that opposite leg. And I'm going to bring the leg right and a little bit to the left. When I go out to the left, I'm probably going to reach my right arm out. Your range of motion here is up to you. I'm actually going to just start switching the towel off. As I go to the right, I'm giving the towel to my right hand, and as I go to the left, I'm bringing it into my left. Some people like to do the exact opposite. When they go to the right, they hold on with their left hand. And when they go to the left, they hold on with their right. They think it's a more supportive way to do it. So try both. See which one you like better. So many ways to do something. One more each way here. Bring your left leg over to the right. Soften the knee a little bit and pause here. Don't go all the way to the floor. Don't make this a back stretch. I mean, you can feel this in your back. I'd love for you to feel it more in the hip and the tush here. The more I keep my knee a little soft and lower about halfway down, this is a hip stretch. It stays there. Just give me 2 breaths there. And then back up towards the ceiling, and we're going to switch the leg out. Right leg gets the excitement, left leg comes down. Again, the towel is on the front third of your foot, and if you're holding a magic circle, it's on the ball of the foot. Push with the toes. Reach them back. Push. Try not to hold your breath here. Three more. Two more. One more. Hold there. Line your shoulders here. Extend that left leg out. And you can start to figure out how you want to hold your towel or your band or whatever it is you're using as you go side to side. Make any changes that you need to make. Let's do one more each way. Really deep breaths here. And then hold on with whatever hand you want. Soften the knee and go about a third of the way over to the left without letting the hip go with you. And this should turn into a tushy hip scratch. And breathe. And then we come back to the center. Carefully take that leg out too. And foot comes back down to the ground. Okay? From here, let's go back and bring, so you can use whatever you have again for this. If you have your magic circle, the magic circle can go right under the head, and you'll be pressing up with both hands into the opposite pad. If you have a towel, it just comes right around your, like a sling for your head, which I think feels nice too. So use whatever you have here. Feet and knees are just parked in a place that feels right. Take a nice deep breath. Guide your head. Draw the abdominals in first. Exhale, come up. And inhale, come down. Again. We're going to start adding one leg lift as you curl up. So the left leg comes up and back down, and then the right. And back down, and left. Let's do two more sets here. One more each way. Put the head down for a minute. Just relax your arms however you can with whatever you're holding. Take a deep breath. Come back up where we just were. Both legs will come up. Feel free to leave your legs down if that's a better choice for you today. Exhale, curl up. Last three. And two. And one. Lower the head. Relax the arms for a minute. Bring your feet down. Take a nice deep breath. Keep your head down. If you have a towel or something that's not too big of a deal, just leave it where it is or push it out of the way. Arms are going to come back by your sides. Legs are going to come a little wider than your hips. Another set of bridging here. Exhale, hips up. Inhale now. Exhale up. Inhale down. Again, maybe this is a small lift. Let's do 4 more here. Last one. Hold at the top. Lengthen your arms. Lengthen the neck. Small little movement. Lower and lift the hips. Push through your heels. You can even lift the balls of the feet and the toes off the ground. Lower each time you come back up with your hips. Drive the heels down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, lift and hold. Lower the feet back down so your feet are flat, and then lift those balls of the feet and the toes back up. Feet down, feet up, feet down, and up. 2 more. Down, toes up. 1 more. Down, toes up. Take a nice deep breath here. Slowly lower through the spine. Articulate as you lower down. Articulate, articulate. All the way down. Relax and release your pelvis. Take a nice deep breath. We're going to do this one more time. Articulating bridge. This time though, bring your arms up to the ceiling, straight above your shoulders. Curl up through your pelvis and slowly articulate. When you come up to the top here, whatever that means for you with your hips, bring your arms all the way back behind you. If that doesn't feel comfortable, just keep them up to the ceiling. And slowly lower down with your hips. As you lower down, reach back slightly through your fingers. This feels nice for my spine. Relax the hips and the pelvis. Take a nice deep breath. We're just going to do that one more time. Arms start above the shoulders. Roll up. Arms go all the way back. And then slowly release. Release. All the way down. Very nice. Arms come back down. Okay, we're going to come back to our hands and knees here. Make your way back. Okay, so hands and knees, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Press the floor away. If you have tenderness in your wrists and you find yourself pushing through what comes next, maybe this is the exercise right here for you. This is a fantastic way right here to work on wrist mobility, strength through the arms. Just lifting and holding this position is a great little exercise, okay? Don't push through something that just feels crappy. Find something that feels like okay, that you can maintain for a little bit. I'm going to bring my hands forward about 1 hand's distance, and then I'm going to bring my hips forward. This is a modified push-up. Hands are still underneath the shoulders. Draw the abdominals in. And 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And then I'm going to sit back for a moment. I'm going to think about what I've done. Take a nice deep breath. Let's do that again, just for fun. Adjust it as you need to. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. You can do a stretch here. Sit back on your heels, arms forward, head down. You know what's coming. 1 more. Belly button is in. Adjust how you need to. Push-ups against the wall are great if you want to do yours there. While 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sit all the way back, take a nice deep breath. And then come all the way back up. We are coming onto our tush, a little bit left here. Come to your tush here. I'm going to bring my right foot against my left thigh and my left hand to my left ankle. See if you can bring yourself central here. This is probably going to be a big old stretch for the hips to begin. The right arm comes up, left shoulder relaxes, and you stretch over to the left. Inhale, come up. This time we'll add a little bit of a twist. As you're coming towards the ground, you can twist towards this leg. Inhale, come back up. And again, over and twist. We'll do one more here. Come all the way up. And then come all the way back down. Right hand down. Switch the legs over now to the right. Hold on somewhere. If you can hold on to your ankle, great. Or maybe to this foot or to your shin. You can figure that one out along the way. Left arm up. Right shoulder relaxes. And stretch over. Inhale up. This is a really good way, if your knees don't mind, to stretch out the knees here. 2 more, we're adding our twist here. Up. Last one. And then come all the way up. Okay, I am coming up through a down dog. You may join me or you may come up to stand another way if you like. Whatever you're doing, take a few deep breaths, find some length. Maybe pedal the legs here. And then you can start to walk your hands back. Woo. Maybe hands to elbows here. Big old breath here, exhale, heavy head. And then we can carefully roll up to stand. And come all the way up to stand. Come to the center of your mat. We're almost done, I promise. You can see me. Hands to hips or arms out to the sides is fine too. Feet hip distant. Shift your weight into your right foot. Draw the abdominals in. Left leg is just going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. Do this. 2, lift and lower. 2 more. 1 more. Hold here. 4, 3, 2, 1. And we come over to the other side. Shift. Belly is in. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift. Good. 2 more. Last one. And you can lift and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Even though you can't see my arms very well, arms up, hook your thumbs, hook little side to side. And then come back to the center. As your arms come down, stand tall. We did it, you guys. I'm crawling into Alice in Wonderland. Have a great day. Stay warm.